Minions 2: The Rise of Gru comes out this week, and I really don't want to see it, but I decided to take a look at Illumination's magnum opus franchise, which isn't saying much.
See?
The Despicable Me series. The series that put this animation studio on the map so you can have to see yellow Tic Tacs everywhere. Despicable Me is Illumination's best movie. It's the story about a supervillain turning into a super dad after adopting 3 children for a mission. The first Despicable Me isn't the pinnacle of children films. There's fart jokes and toilet humor, but if you look past that, it's a very charming movie a decade later. Seeing Gru slowly bond with the girls is so sweet. He's very fun as a villain, but seeing him turn more into a father figure is absolutely adorable. Now, the minions in this movie aren't that bad, honestly. Sure, they are a little annoying, but some of the gags are funny. They blend in well with the main story mostly, and it isn't too distracting from Gru and the girls.
Pretty impressive. What are you looking at? Booyah! You got shrunk, tiny mouthwash.
Vector is the best villain of the franchise, besides the memes. Like, he's just so stupid and dorky. How could you not love him?
Vector! That's me, because I'm committing crimes with both direction and magnitude. Oh yeah!
The movie is not without its flaws. Like, we have another dance party ending. You know, we haven't seen that before at all, trust me. Okay, hear me out. Pharrell Williams on this soundtrack is actually good. It's a bop, especially the carnival scene when he starts singing. Oh my god. You could tell Steve Carell is having a blast playing Gru in this. I love his voice, and it's not too grating like when he plays his long-lost brother, which we will get into at the end of the video. And rewatching this movie, a lot of the jokes hit more than they miss.
Seriously, I'm going to count to 3, and you had better be in this car. Here we go. 1, 2,
3, 4.
Despicable Me may have a lot of potty humor that taints the film a little, but overall it's a fun film for the entire family, except it's not Megamind, so there's that.
Despicable Me. A day, if you take it personal.
For each movie, I'm going to give you a tolerance scale for my patience for the minions. The higher it is, it means I tolerated them the most. The lower the score is, then I absolutely couldn't stand them. Despicable Me 2 was my favorite in the franchise as a kid, and it was probably because the minions in the first one that stole the show have a lot more to do here. In this one, there are a lot more minions, and I thought it was the best thing ever. Growing up, yeah, the minions in this movie kinda bring it down a bit. Their gags are very hit or miss this time, and when they miss, they really miss, as much as a stormtrooper. This time Gru meets a villain he looked up to, but one thing is stopping him. A woman. a wooga, am I right, you guys? The relationship plot is very predictable, but Anais, the cute... Did I just say Anais? I'm sorry. Agnes, the cutest of the girls, makes the familiarity of the story feel sweet and cozy. Her wanting a mom is adorable. Kristen Wiig as Lucy is so much fun. I love it when she voices eccentric off-the-wall characters like Lola Bunny.
Wow, that was a good movie.
And now, your feature presentation.
The villain this time around is honestly extremely forgettable, and probably the worst of the franchise, and he is nowhere near the ranks of Vector! That's me.
Yellow, purple, green.
Wouldn't it be cool if those were real bullets? Like, honestly, think about it. Think about it. If those were real bullets. Oh, Jesus. The animation is a huge step up in quality from the first film. The minions look kinda different, but it's all for the better. They're more vibrant and colorful and easy to look at. The soundtrack slaps once again for Pharrell making that song that was on the radio 24/7. I'll never forget being in the car, my cousin switched it to 4 different stations and Happy came on every one of them. Despicable Me 2 is a nice follow-up that has hilarious moments, but a predictable story and the rise of when the minions became annoying. My minions tolerance for this one, 6 out of 10. I am convinced that Minions is one of the world's easiest money-making schemes of all time. This movie has no substance, no memorable characters besides Baby Gru, who appears in the final 3 minutes of the movie, and nothing to latch onto. But does it matter when your movie is about minions? Little kids, Facebook moms, and aunts who post minions beside Bible quotes love these yellow turds, and they race to the theater, and of course now it's in the $1 billion club. Minions is about Kevin, Stuart, and Bob looking for the perfect master to serve their race. I'm sure Hitler would have been a great fit though, because these guys kind of remind me of him. The movie is the definition of noise. So many gags surrounding the minions are in this movie and they barely make me laugh.
I caught you in 4K!
Most of the jokes are just loud and shoehorned in just to stretch out this thin plot. What did that add to the story? What did that? But again, why try with this movie if it can make you easy money? Kevin is supposed to be the brave one, Stuart is laid back, and Bob is just adorable and afraid. But the movie gets tired of these characteristics so they can all goof off and be wacky. They are all so bland. I will give props to the animation because it's very nice to look at in many places, especially once they get to London. Also, I will give them props for making a movie where the dialogue is mostly reliant on gibberish and trying to show what they say through visuals. Scarlet Overkill is probably the second best villain of the franchise, but that isn't really saying much. Minions is a movie that doesn't try because it doesn't have to. The movie is incredibly stiff and is the perfect example of why some side characters shouldn't have a spin-off film. My minion tolerance for this movie, 3 out of 10. After the train wreck that was Minions, I was kind of excited to go back to the focus of Gru and the... Yeah, I know the Minions will be in this film, but I was so hyped to see what else the studio had planned for Gru and his kids. Then the trailer showed up, and I knew instantly this movie would suck. And it did. I'm so happy I can predict the future with Illumination movies. This movie is about Gru trying to stop Balthazar Bratt, a kid actor who's stuck in the 80s, and they reference that a lot. He's played by South Park guy Trey Parker, which was really the only reason I saw this movie after I saw the trailer. Things get out of hand though when Gru finds his long-lost brother, Drew. I've praised Steve Carell for his voice performance of Gru, but Drew is Gru, but his voice is cranked up to 1 million out of 10. He is so annoying, and every word that comes out of his mouth sounds like a nail scratching against a board.
Help me! Ow! 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 Oh no! Where's the spikes? I'm gonna be impaled!
Okay, but hear me out though. Sometimes a long-lost brother plot device can work, especially in Uncharted 4, and even episodes like The Simpsons in its early days. But here it is, unnecessary. But hey, $1 billion club, baby, does it even matter? Also, there's a plot about I almost did it again. Also, there's a plot about Agnes finding a unicorn. Margot has a creepy guy who she doesn't like. Edith messes with the butler. The minions go to jail with EDP. Oh, I guess they called it Despicable Me 3 because it's 3 times worse than the original and 3 times the plot. So much of the movie feels scattered shot. Every plot seems so disjointed with the main plot of the movie, which feels like it's just going by the motions. There's genuinely not a lot to say about Despicable Me 3. It's not even that funny. It's just a mess of a movie, and it's the worst of the 3 original films by far, if you don't count the Minions. My Minions tolerance for this one, 5 out of 10. Well, the Despicable Me franchise is hit or miss. It started off good, and of course Illumination needed more money for God knows what. I predict that Minions Rise of Gru is going to be a groovy that is the same iffy movie as the first Minions, but hopefully it's just slightly better.
And we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna